And I'm really pleased to have in the studio with me my old friend Richard Greene. We were colleagues at Air America. We've known each other for decades. You were on the board of the Salem Children's Village for a while with us. All kinds of cool stuff.
It's great to have Thom Hartmann as your friend.
It's great to have Richard Greene as your friend. Yeah, Richard is a communications strategist. He's the author of Words That Shook the World. You were a communications advisor to Princess Diana, among other people. You've got some really high-profile candidates and people, celebrities.
She should have run for Queen of England.
She
would have won if it was an election.
You're absolutely right, and it was a terrible tragedy that her life was taken so young. In any case, Richard, you were also the consultant in the Philippines and the Philippines had an election, what, about 9 months ago?
It was in April.
In April.
And it was essentially between the Filipino Hillary Clinton and the Filipino Donald Trump.
And in fact, the Filipino Donald Trump called himself the Filipino Donald Trump, did he not?
Yes, and he was proud of it. And the reason I call my friend, a guy named Mar Rojas, he was the Hillary Clinton, he was a former cabinet secretary. He was highly educated, went to Wharton. He was extremely experienced. Everyone felt that he was the most experienced person running. And he got whooped.
Yeah, he got whooped by the Donald Trump of the Philippines, who is now paying hit squads. I did this whole story about this last week, where there's this woman who was telling her story about how she gets $200 a head for just walking up to people who are drug users and shooting them in the head with a small caliber pistol. And
well, he did that. He killed 3,000 people when he was the mayor of this town called Davao. And people, you know, he is the ultimate law and order candidate. Donald Trump was talking about that last night. And he also literally joked about how he was upset. It wasn't a joke. He was sincerely upset that he was not invited to a gang rape of a foreign missionary who was also killed. And he said, and he literally, in his town when he was the mayor, he literally said, she was so beautiful. I am the mayor. I should have been invited to be there first. Wow. And so the lesson here is, so we're sitting around with my friend Mar Rojas. We're preparing to debate Duterte in one of the debates, and everybody's laughing and said, this guy is certainly going to prove that he is an imbecile, and no Filipino in their right mind is ever really going to vote for him. So we discounted him, much like Donald Trump has been discounted for a long time, and he ended up kicking our butts. And he beat Secretary Rojas and 3 other qualified candidates. And
he's now the prime minister of the Philippines.
He's the president of the Philippines, killing people with hit squads because he's the law and order guy, ruining relationships with the United States and every other country. And it's a disaster. My friends in the Philippines, they're pulling their hair out.
Yeah.
And the reason that I think you're interested in having me share this is because the parallels are striking.
Yes.
And the reason Duterte...
It could happen here.
It very well could happen because, first of all, I think the polling is underreporting the Trump support.
Yes.
Who's going to admit face-to-face or even on the phone, oh, yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. So there's some evidence that people are underreporting their Trump support. So that's scary, especially in close swing states. But the ultimate communication principle that I learned from the Philippines and is clearly going on here with Trump is that glorious promises, you know, I'm going to make Black lives better. I'm going to fix crime. I'm going to end ISIS. I'm going to give everybody jobs. I mean, look at Trump. These glorious promises combined with this incredible communications set of skills that this man has, and you can make fun of him all day long. He is a master of communication. Look where he is right now. So glorious promises delivered with supreme confidence will always be attractive to a huge number of people and will trump logic and rationality. And if people think, oh, it's done, it's over, but if you're going to vote, quite honestly, if you're going to vote for Jill Stein or Gary Johnson, I think that truly is there's malpractice for you as an American citizen if you are a progressive. Because this election will be close.
Yeah,
if not,
it already is.
If not, we will lose, and we may even lose it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Moore has already called it for Donald Trump, which is a damn scary thing.
And you asked me on the television show last week, you said, what can Hillary do? And the only way around this, because people do feel like it's a quick fix. Oh my God, all I have to do is vote for Donald Trump. And he promised it. And I believe him. He's a reality TV star. I mean, I've seen him on TV. I like him on NBC. The only way to overcome that is to get millennials and women and minorities, the key demographics for the progressive coalition, out. And the way to do that is, and I wrote an op-ed in the Hill newspaper called Beyond Trump and Hillary, the only way to truly transform America in election 2016. And the idea, it's part of my 279forchange.us campaign. And the idea is, let's have people pick pieces of legislation that they care about, like fighting climate change, like equal pay for women, like campaign finance reform, and literally go to their candidates that are running and say, hashtag, I'm launching this today, it's voter registration day, hashtag vote for this bill, or I won't vote for you. If we can empower 18-year-olds and all millennials that they, in fact, have enormous clout as citizen lobbyists, and I'm calling them badass citizen lobbyists, don't just register to vote, register to be a badass citizen lobbyist and overcome the influence of Halliburton and Monsanto and the NRA by not giving that precious thing called a vote to these candidates unless you exact something in return. That's what lobbyists do. And that's what Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin would have wanted us to do. We have a revolution every 2 years. Bernie's, we have to throw out the system. We need a revolution. The founding fathers created a revolution. Most millennials don't know that we literally can throw out all 435 members of the House of Representatives on November 8th and 34 of the 100 United States senators. The magic number to get anything you want done, anything, climate change stuff, campaign finance, equal pay, criminal justice reform, is 279. We just talked about it. 279 is the magic number of America. 218 in the House, and you pass the House with your bill. 60 in the Senate, and you have a filibuster-proof majority to pass the bill in the Senate, and then you just need a president who's going to sign it. That's what this election should be about. Which presidential candidate is going to sign a climate change bill? Only one of them. Which candidate is going to sign equal pay for women? Only one of them. Which candidate is going to sign gun reform or gun protection bills? Only one of them. That's what we should be caring about, not what's going on during these debates.
Yeah, except to the extent that those issues are actually discussed during the debates, you know.
I know I dumped a lot on you.
No, there's a lot there, and we're pretty much out of time too. But just the last question. What was it like being in the Philippines and watching Duterte, the Filipino Trump, eat the lunch of your candidate? I mean, it must have been. Was it surprise? Was there a point in the election where it became obvious to you that this is the direction things were going, and that there was nothing you could do, or what?
Well, it became that, and it's kind of like with Trump. Like, we look at and we go, okay, he said this incredibly stupid thing. Certainly, his poll numbers are going to drop.
Right.
And they didn't drop.
Right.
Certainly Duterte's poll numbers were going to drop, and they didn't drop. But I tell you what it is for me in terms of being in the Philippines, I don't feel like I can go back. Having written that op-ed in the Huffington Post, which went viral in the Philippines, and I'm getting all sorts of comments. Duterte is the greatest thing that we've ever had in the Philippines.
Getting death threats.
I'm not getting, hopefully that will not happen. Don't even plant that idea, but I'm not a popular person because I was criticizing. I mean, it's a dictatorial thing that's going on here.
Wow. So
I mean, listen, if he can give people a few dollars to go kill someone who he thinks is a drug dealer, he probably doesn't want any dissidents, coming in from outside the country. Anyway,
Richard Greene.
Richard, cautionary tale.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
RichardGreene.org is his website. You can tweet him at RHGreene with an E on the end, Greene. Richard, thank you.
Thanks so much, Thom.
Great having you.